Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Warriors trade pursuit of two-time All-Star gets major update. Stephen Curry of the Golden State Warriors drives to the basket between Zach LaVine of the Chicago Bulls, left, and Nikola Vucevic. The Golden State Warriors' pursuit of a stretch center got a major update on Monday, January 27. According to NBA insider Mark Stein, the Warriors have been unwilling to meet the Chicago Bulls' asking price for two-time All-Star center Nikola Vucevic. The Bulls continue to seek a first-round pick in exchange for former All-Star center Nikola Vucevic, league sources say, Stein wrote in his The Stein Line newsletter on Substack. The Warriors have been at the front of the line in terms of potential Vucevic suitors for weeks but, mired in a 10-20 funk that had them stuck at a lowly number 11 in the West entering Monday's play, have to date been unwilling to surrender more than second-round draft capital. The Warriors have 3 first-round picks available to trade. Over their last 4 games, the Warriors have deployed 7-foot rookie Quinton Post as their stretch center in their effort to carve more space for Stephen Curry to operate. Playing with a space big is a luxury, Kerr told reporters after he played Post 15 minutes during their 123-117 loss to the Sacramento Kings on January 22. It's something that gives us a different look. Quinton is a really good player. You can see it. He's tough. He knows how to play. However, the experiment with Post, the 52nd overall pick of the last NBA draft, has only yielded 1 win during that stretch when he posted a career-high 20 points on 5 of 10 three-point shooting. Interestingly, it came against Vucevic and the Bulls. Vucevic had a disappointing outing against the Warriors, scoring just 9 points on 4 of 9 shooting and 6 rebounds while also netting -15 on the plus-minus column in the Bulls' 131-106 loss on January 23. But it appeared it was just an aberration as Vucevic bounced back with 22 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists and 3 blocks in the Bulls' next game. He had 29 straight double-digit scoring games before his 9-point outing against the Warriors. For the season, Vucevic is averaging 20.1 points on 55.5% field goal shooting and 40.6% from the three-point line, both career best, on top of 10.3 rebounds, 3.4 assists and nearly a steal per game. He would easily become the Warriors' second-best scorer, top rebounder and top 3 three-point shooter with those numbers. Vucevic is a far better and more consistent player than Post right now, but the Warriors are balking at the cost of acquiring the Bulls' floor-spacing center. Giving up a first-round draft capital for a player who wouldn't move the needle for them this season is something they do not want to do. On top of the draft capital the Bulls are seeking, the Warriors will also have to give up multiple players to match Vucevic's $20 million salary. One iteration that could work will include the expiring salaries of Kevin Looney, $1 million, Gary Payton $2, $9.1 million and Lindy Waters $3, $2.2 million, and they would be hard-capped at first apron after the trade. The Warriors will also have to sign 2 free agent players to get up to the minimum roster of 14 standard contracts. But if the Bulls lower their price as the trade deadline nears, the Warriors will likely take a flyer on Vucevic. If he doesn't pan out, he will have a big expiring salary, $21.5 million, next season, which the Warriors can later flip or aggregate in a package for a ceiling-raising star like Giannis Antetokounmpo if one becomes available. Quinton Post revelation only worsens Warriors' offseason trade mistake. Quinton Post has brought a refreshing excitement to the Golden State Warriors over recent games, with the team's need for a stretch 5 delivering the rookie center a significantly rotational role off the bench. Post had a career-high 20 points against the Chicago Bulls on Thursday, then added 8 points, 2 rebounds and 3 assists while not looking overawed in a primetime game against the Los Angeles Lakers on Saturday night. The question has now become whether Golden State need to acquire a more proven shooting big prior to the February 6 trade deadline, or whether they should just further develop Post by giving him 20 to 25 minutes per game over the remainder of the season. The Warriors have been strongly linked to a trade for Chicago Bulls big man Nikola Vucevic, with the 2X All-Star potentially giving the franchise a starting caliber stretch 5 who's averaged over 20 points and 10 rebounds so far this season. But it's easy to forget that Golden State could have added another 7-footer shooter in addition to Post during the offseason, having had significant talks with the Utah Jazz surrounding 2023 All-Star Lauri Markkanen. The Warriors were ultimately unwilling to match Danny Ainge's steep asking price, leaving Markkanen to renegotiate and extend his contract with the Jazz in August. That's eliminated the Finnish forward from being in trade discussions prior to the deadline, though Utah could still be a seller over the coming days. Post may have been a revelation over the past week, but it's also come over halfway through the season and at a point where Golden State have given themselves plenty of work to do just to make the play-in tournament. It's left many wondering where the Warriors could have been had they acquired Markkanen or had another stretch big entering the season. Not only would Markkanen have been that high-volume, efficient 7-foot three-point shooter, but he could have also been the second 20-plus point per game scorer that Golden State have desperately needed to support Stephen Curry. Granted, Markkanen is having a less efficient year, averaging 19.7 points and 6.1 rebounds while shooting 35.6% from beyond the arc. It's also difficult to evaluate his numbers given the Jazz are prioritizing their youth, hold a 10-33 record and are last in the Western Conference standings. Who knows, maybe the Warriors can explore a Markkanen deal again in the offseason once he's trade eligible. That's going to be far more difficult and not as valuable given the 27-year-old is set to make $46.4 million next season. NBA rumors, the sticking point in Bulls-Warriors Nikola Vucevic trade talks. The NBA trade deadline is less than 2 weeks away, and the Chicago Bulls are a team to watch as we approach the February 6 cutoff. The Bulls are in 10th place in the Eastern Conference as they are having another lackluster season, and maybe this will finally be the year that the team gets active at the trade deadline. If they do, one player that could depart is Nikola Vucevic. Nikola Vucevic has been at the center of trade rumors this season, and one team that seems to be interested is the Golden State Warriors. One issue seems to be the asking price that the Bulls are looking for, and the fact that they want a first-round pick could be stopping the Warriors from making a trade. The Bulls continue to seek a first-round pick in exchange for former All-Star center Nikola Vucevic, league sources say, a report from Mark Stein said. The Warriors have been at the front of the line in terms of potential Vucevic suitors for weeks but, mired in a 10-20 funk that had them stuck at a lowly number 11 in the West entering Monday's play, have to date been unwilling to surrender more than second-round draft capital. Right now, there is still time for negotiations to be made as there is over a week until the deadline, but time is running out. The Bulls are going to try to get as much as they can for any trade at this point, but as we get closer to the deadline, we might see them start to take a step back and agree to something less than they were originally hoping for. It sounds like the Bulls are likely going to make some trades before the deadline, but we thought the same thing last year and nothing happened. There are a lot of potential Bulls that could be involved, and Nikola Vucevic seems to be one of the main possibilities. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Nikola Vucevic? Leave your opinion in the comments.